The McClendon Report, Books and Consulting, Ask or Ask, Donda's Rules, the scholarly works of Dr. Donda West, and Suit Shoes. All available at McClendonReport.com.
Chicago police need your help in finding culprits for the brutal killing of 15-year-old Alex Arellano. He was found beaten, burned, and shot in the 3000 block of 54th Place. Vigils are taking place tonight, and I plead with you to not look at Alex's death as just another murder. The West and South Sides have developed a pattern for homicide. We share our concerns for the family as we look at crime locations and demographic predictors with Red Eye reporter Tracy Swartz tonight on Garrard McClendon Live. Thanks for joining us tonight on Garrard McClendon Live. This was not a drive-by or random murder, but this appears to be a calculated crime developed to possibly ward off snitchers and informants. The family of Alex Arellano has to deal with the motive, the vigils, the loss of a family member, and the manner in which their beloved was brutally murdered. Why are these murders happening in specific areas around the city, and why was he killed? Joining us now from Tribune Tower, Red Eye reporter Tracy Swartz. Tracy, thanks for joining us tonight on Garrard McClendon Live.
Thanks for having me.
You know, Tracy, first things first, you're the cover story of the Red Eye today, Chicago Murder Report. What's the purpose of having this particular story?
So since February, the Red Eye has been tracking homicides. We've been looking at where the homicides have been occurring, and we thought that we would take a look at the first 4 months of the year and kind of give a breakdown of who the victims are, where they've been occurring. And we also wanted to compare it to a police report that came out late last month that detailed all 511 murders that occurred in Chicago last year.
Wow. Of course, Alex Arellano over the weekend brutally murdered. I mean, totally different type of murder. I mean, it's almost like we've gotten used to drive-bys and gang-related, gang-affiliated, drug-related murders, but this, of course, is far more brutal. Tracy, talk to me. Where are these homicides occurring?
Well, they're heavily concentrated on the south and the west sides, specifically the Austin, West Englewood, and Greater Grand Crossing areas.
Is there a motive on why they're taking place in these areas, Tracy?
Well, the police say that in the first 3 months, 65% of murders were because of gang-related motives. So it seems that these murders are occurring in gang areas prone to gang violence.
You know, it's frustrating because being an African-American male, you know, it almost makes me cry. I'm reading the stats, I'm reading your article earlier today, and there's this one stat that just jumps out at me. It's at the top of page 7 in your article, and it says male versus female. It says 87% in 2009 were male, 88.5% 2008 were male. And then when you look at race of victims, 369 murder victims were black, while 139 were white or Hispanic. Once again, I know you mentioned drug-related, but is there something even deeper when it comes to these 20 to 25-year-old black males being murdered?
Well, the majority of the murders last year were because of street gang fights or gang fights over narcotics. So that's where the majority is coming from.
Yeah. 630-575-TALK is the number, 630-575-TALK if you want to talk with Tracy Swartz, Red Eye reporter, as well as myself about the brutal murders happening around the city of Chicago, the crime rate stabilizing, but Alex Arellano's murder is a terrible, terrible murder. He was shot, he was burned, he was beaten, and it's just frustrating tonight. You know, I'm looking at your article here, Tracy. There were 24 total murders in January, 26 in February, 18 in March, and then we get a spike. Tracy, 41 in April. What was the reason for that?
Well, they say that murders tend to spike when it's warmer. So, and already this month we've had 6 more murders.
Already this month, and
Yes.
it may just started.
Right.
You know, that's frustrating to me, and I'm seeing in your article as well that 80% of some of these murders where people were shot to death.
Yes.
And so, just I'm going to ask you to opine here. Gun control. As a Red Eye reporter, should we instill gun control, Tracy, or not?
Well, that's not really for me to say, but you know, a majority of these murders are gun related. So it's up to lawmakers to make that call.
Absolutely. Tracy, hold tight. I'm going to take some phone calls after break. 630-575-TALK is the number. Hit my blog at cltv.com/GML, where you can find posts on the brutal slaying of Alex Arellano. We also invite your calls right now, 630-575-TALK. Should there be a greater police presence in the areas found on the Red Eye's homicide map? Tracy Swartz joins me tonight as we encourage the snitchers to call the police. Garrard McClendon live, back in 2 minutes. These are ages of the young. Victims, 12 and younger. We got 3, 13 and 19, 24 victims, 20 to 25, 25 victims, 26 to 30, 18 victims. You can read the rest. 31 to 40, 19 victims, 41 and up, 19 victims. The young people are getting killed, ladies and gentlemen. Where's the outcry? Alex Arellano's death is disturbing and very personal. What is the motive? Is there a backstory to all of this? 630-575-TALK is the number. You're watching Garrard McClendon Live. I've got Tracy Swartz from the Red Eye with us at Tribune Tower. Tracy, writing this article, you've been tracking these murders over the last few months. You know, have you become numb to this, or does it shock you every time you have to write about another homicide?
I wish I could say it shocks me, but yep, it's kind of, I wake up on a Saturday, check the papers, and you know, it's not surprising to see 2 or 3 more homicides on the books.
Yeah, and you know, I'm so upset now, and people have seen me on this show before where I'll just literally go off. If this same number of murders occur in any other neighborhood, Tracy, there would be much more of an outcry. It's like people have gotten used to drive-bys, gang-related, drug-related, and it's like we become numb to it, you know?
Yes.
Let me go to some phone calls. I'm going to Jim first. Jim, thanks for calling GML. What's your comment? Hi, Jim. What's your comment?
Yes, my comment is, you know, these gangbangers are running around acting like, you know, they're some kind of terrorists. They're doing this for attention. The newspapers, the news media, they report on this every day.
Yeah.
You know, when they grab these kids, and they don't let the policemen do their job. What they need is an old-fashioned ride in a police paddy wagon, handcuffed.
Hey.
Making a left and making a right, and then send their ass to Iraq.
Hey, Jim, thanks for the call. Appreciate it, Jim. Let me go to Worrell next. Worrell, thanks for calling Garrard McClendon Live. What's your comment? Hi, Worrell, what's your comment?
You know what, we keep talking about, hello?
Yeah, we're here. Talk on the phone.
Okay. Yeah, we keep talking about that all of this stuff is gang-related. This stuff isn't gang-related. This stuff is stemming from when they took all of the gang chiefs and all of the structure off the streets back in the 80s and early 90s. Now these children have no sense of direction. At least when they did have the gang leaders out there, at least they did have someone to look up to and someone to guide, whether it was right or wrong. Also, this is coming from, these are the crack babies. If you look at from 25 and under, these are the children that were being raised by people on drugs and the streets back when everybody was out in the 80s and late 90s making a lot of money.
Okay, so hold tight. Who are the crack babies? The people that are having children a few years ago, the babies born from the crack era of the late 80s and 90s, you're saying that those people are in their 20s now and causing all this chaos in society?
Exactly, because they do not have any type of direction. And it stems from, like I say, late 80s, late 90s, everybody was making a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, and the kids had no direction. At least the way that the gangs used to have it structured is, you know, you had to report. You couldn't go out and do something to an opposition without having a repercussion with your own people if it wasn't sanctioned.
So basically,
now everything is about blocks.
Yeah,
what block you live on.
So basically, we're in the aftermath of New Jack City, aren't we?
Yeah. Definitely.
That's
definitely.
For real. Hey,
and it's going to get worse.
Hey, World, thanks for the call. I appreciate you, man. Wow, you know, Tracy, World says it's going to get worse. And you know what? The weather is getting a little bit warmer here. 41 homicides in April. Do you see these increasing throughout the summer?
Yes, I do. The deadliest month last year was July, and that had 64 murders.
My goodness. You know, a lot of my callers, Tracy, they'll blame the Chicago Police Department, but it looks as if Chicago police are starting to target some of these areas that seem to be troubled areas. But the one thing about a homicide, be it calculated or a drive-by, it's hard to prevent because sometimes the person killing the other person doesn't even know when it's going to occur.
Right.
You know, let me go to Yauri. Yauri, thanks for calling GML. What's your comment?
Good evening. I just want to say that I don't believe that it's solely upon the police department to continue to try to wrap these people up or, you know, catch them. But I believe that it's majorly a part on us. We must, as a people, decide that we're tired of the, you know, the senseless murders, seeing our kids falling dead in the street, constantly going to funerals. I'm 28 years old, a native of Chicago myself. I left Chicago because I didn't want to raise my kids in that environment. You know, I've seen it. I've seen dead bodies, and you know, it's graphic and it's ridiculous. You know, I've seen the numbers. I watch your show. I've seen the numbers. I've seen the statistics you put up on the screen. It's disturbing. It's disappointing, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it really is. Hey, Yauri, thanks for the phone call. I appreciate you calling Garrard McClendon Live. Hold on tight, Tracy. We're going to take some more phone calls after the break. You can reach me on Facebook at Garrard McClendon, and you can hit me on Twitter at GerardMC. We also invite your calls right now, 630-575-TALK. Should there be a greater police presence in Chicago's hotspots? Tracy Swartz joins me tonight as we deconstruct homicides in Chicago. Garrard McClendon Live, back in 2 minutes. It looks like African American men are the biggest victims, 79.4%, 20.5% white and Hispanic. Those are the victims, according to race. Hispanics and African Americans slain just for the heck of it. 630-575-TALK gets you in on the conversation. Do we not care enough about our own children, neighborhoods, and ourselves? Is this gang, drug, territory, or mean mug related? Are snitchers in trouble? Call me, 630-575-TALK. Tracy Swartz joins us right now. Tracy, before I go back to phones, you mentioned, though, there is a bright spot in your article that the murder rate is down. What might be the cause for that?
Well, police have put additional officers onto the streets, and they've updated the gang maps, and they've gone out and targeted the areas prone to gang violence. So they attribute that to the decrease in homicides.
Yeah. Now, Tracy, this is another thing that frustrates me. It seems as if crime is legal in some neighborhoods. What I mean by that is this. You can loiter in some neighborhoods, and you can go 1 or 2 blocks over and not loiter. A squad car will drive by and say, what are you doing here? Do you live around here? But in some neighborhoods, you can just hang out all day. Do you think that this may also be a cause for some of the crimes taking place where some neighborhoods almost invite crime?
You know what? That's a great question. That's something I'll look into when I do another update on the homicides.
Yeah, because, for instance, if Garrard McClendon is hanging out on the corner in Winnetka or in Deerfield or in Burr Ridge, Tracy, come on, be honest, what's going to happen?
I don't know.
Come on, Tracy. Come on.
I don't know.
Come on, Tracy. If I'm hanging out on the corner in Winnetka for more than 30 minutes and I'm not waiting on a bus, come on, Tracy. What's gonna happen?
I don't know.
You playing reporter on me, Tracy.
What do you do when you're loitering?
Tracy, you know what's gonna happen. Someone's gonna call the police. They're gonna say, hey, there's some mysterious, strange African-American man hanging out in Winnetka, and they're gonna ask me questions. The problem, Tracy, is when those same questions aren't asked by police in Austin, Gage Park, in Inglewood, and I find that to be a serious problem. Let me go to Arthur next. Arthur, thanks for calling GML. What's your comment? Arthur, what's your comment?
Yes, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay, I was calling because that, we need to quit blaming them. We need to quit blaming the police because, see, the police is doing their job.
Okay.
It's the judges. And just like you was telling her and she couldn't say what she was saying, if you went on one of them corners, they would lock you up in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, so it should be like that in every neighborhood, not just in Deerfield, around Lake.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be like that in there. And then we need to come together and start being undercover stool pigeons.
Yeah.
Some people's family get hurt, and then they want you to tell on somebody else, but when somebody else's family get hurt, they don't want to say nothing.
Yeah.
That ain't fair. You got to talk just like you everybody else to talk when somebody get hurt.
That's for real. That's for real. Hey, Arthur, thanks for the phone call. We're not trying to beat you up, Tracy, but I think I might try this experiment. I think I'm going to get some blue jeans.
Okay.
I'm going to pull them down under my butt. I'm going to wear a white T-shirt, a gold chain, and I'm going to hang out in Oak Brook, Burr Ridge, Deerfield, Winnetka, and I'm going to turn a stopwatch on and find out how quickly a squad car rolls through. See, the sad thing is that, and that's what police should do, the sad thing is that it doesn't happen in other neighborhoods. Let me go to Leonard next. Leonard, thanks for the phone call. You're on Garrard McClendon Live. What's your comment? Leonard, what's your comment?
Oh. Hello.
Yes, your comment, Leonard.
Yes, I live in Niles.
All right.
My son was killed February 21st of 07. 2 Puerto Rican gangbangers came to my door with no mask, guns, and gloves. They rang the bell. They said they were the police. He opened the door. They killed him. Here's my comment. They shot him and came after me to rob me. I'm a coin dealer. They came after me, but here's the worst part. The one guy, from what I understand, I can't go into too much detail because we're still waiting for trial. The one guy did 2 years, a year and a half for murder on a drive-by shooting and was on 2 years parole, and he's out on the streets coming after and killing my son. Shot him in the head. If you read, it's in the paper. You can Google it. And these judges just let him go. They just, because there's no money in it.
Yeah. Hey, Leonard, thanks for the phone call. I'm going to ask our reporter about this as well. Leonard, thanks for the phone call. Tracy, question, do you think that you and the Red Eye may look into the actual sentences of these murders? What do you think about that?
I think it's something we'll definitely look into, and hopefully next time you have me on the show, I can report back.
Yeah, because I think you may have mentioned that a lot of these murders, the perpetrators have prior records. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The police department said that most of the offenders have previous records, as do a lot of the victims as well.
Yeah, see, and that once again, it's a terrible thing because there are some crimes. I mean, you can kill a person in this country and get out of jail in a few years. That's beyond me. You can steal a car and be in jail longer than you would if you murdered a person. Hold tight, Tracy. We appreciate you being on Garrard McClendon Live. Let me go to a more optimistic part of the show here. Who's hiring? Hey, Lifetime Fitness is searching for aquatics fitness instructors. You can hit my blog at cltv.com/GML. Look for the Who's Hiring tab. Garrard McClendon Live continues with the V-Line and Tracy Swartz in 2 minutes.
I was watching your show today for the very first time, fully through, and you have to bring Kyra Kyles back on. She is very, very funny and so personal. It's like she feels like she's down to earth and she feels like she's reading my brain. You have to bring her back on there. It was like a great show, I must say.
And I was calling about the Gutierrez bill, the payday loan bill. I hope that he knows that we're not going to forget him if he ever should attempt to run for office again, and that he went with the special interest group instead of thinking about the poor consumers who are being ripped off by the payday loan services around the state. I just wanted to mention that.
What happens to our lottery money in Illinois? We're always in such bad debt. We don't have any money to fix streets. We don't have school money. Could you do a show, or would you consider doing a show about what happens to our lottery money and where does it go? Thank you, Gerard.
That's the Garrard McClendon V-line. Where does the lottery money go? That's a very, very, very good question. Tracy Swartz joins us from the Red Eye. Tracy, this Alex Arellano case is definitely a high-profile case. Name one other high-profile case from this year.
There was the 3 students who were slain 87th and Exchange in February.
Yeah, terrible. They did find a culprit for that, though, I do believe, for those particular homicides. Let me see if I can get Aisha right quick. Aisha, you're on Garrard McClendon Live. What's your comment? Okay, Marcus, let's go to Marcus. Make your comment quick, Marcus. What's your comment? Marcus, what's your comment?
Yeah, I was calling about, yeah, hello?
Marcus, Marcus, you got 10 seconds. Make your comment.
Yeah, I was calling about the short president of, I was talking about the short president of police in high crime neighborhoods.
Okay.
And, I was just saying about the little fake crosswalk setups that they be doing.
Yeah.
And they can do more important things than that.
I
instead of, setting up people trying to give them tickets, and they can be in the high crime neighborhood.
I feel you, Marcus. Thanks for the phone call, Marcus. We appreciate you. Tracy Swartz from the Red Eye. Thanks for being on Garrard McClendon Live tonight, and please keep reporting on those murders.
Thanks for having me. And we publish it every Thursday, the Week in Review, Homicides in Review.
Excellent. We'll definitely pick that up.
Thank you.
That's Garrard McClendon Live. Tonight, to the family of Alex Arellano, you are definitely in our prayers. That's Garrard McClendon Live. We'll see you tomorrow.
The McClendon Report, Books and Consulting, Ask or Ask, Donda's Rules, The Scholarly Works of Dr. Donda West, and Suit Shoes. All available at McClendonreport.com.